replay, tell me #replay. Put it in the comments. So why is it showing? There we go. Okay, we'll give everybody a few minutes to get on. For some reason, you guys might have gotten a glimpse of Melissa at the very beginning if you're watching on YouTube. A little cutie in her screen there. All right, let me pull up Facebook comments. As you're popping on, tell me hi. Happy New Year. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me something good that happened over the last couple of weeks. I want to hear some good news. Janessa, what's the weather like in Tennessee right now? I'm curious. It's pretty mild here right now, which is kind of unusual. Oh, okay, let's go through Karen, Holly, working on your peer local and hats, Shard, Joyce, Linda, Cindy, awesome. Holly, finished some projects, got to submit, nice. Nicole finished a crochet textured hand warmer, awesome. Nicole's been doing samples for our upcoming crochet class series. Kind of excited about it. We have to get that scheduled next week. Debbie working on the rear view sweater, awesome. Now that we got the mohair in, we have, I think I posted the other day, I think I have every color of the new Malabrigo mohair. It's beautiful. Melissa, your catkin, excellent. Mom says family visited, yes. 66, nice. Bonnie working on a splatter paint scarf. Oh, interesting. That sounds like fun. Hi, Vicki. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is Monday, January 2nd, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope the past few weeks were productive or not, restful, filled your heart with joy. Ours was pretty low key all the way around. Hi, Malcolm. Hi, Oriana, working on the waterfront cowl. Courtney working on socks. Awesome. All kinds of stuff going on. I am currently working on, I needed just, my project just to knit on while I talk to all of you. So I'm working on my Peter Easy vest. I'm getting there. I think I have like 2 more inches to knit, and then I can separate for the front and the back. It's just a basic men's vest. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if Janessa's working on a temperature blanket. Blankets have been, on everybody's mind right now, on a lot of the, like the Michigan knitters pages and a few of the other knitting Facebook pages. I see everybody posting their finished temperature blankets from last year, which is so cool. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Shar. No, weather scarf. So temperature blankets, weather scarves. If you don't know what those are, there are a few different ways to do it. But essentially every day you're knitting or crocheting a row or 2 on your project that denotes the temperature for that day. And then you go all the way throughout the year so you can see kind of the gradual changes. Yes, Bonnie is going to New Zealand. I'm so excited for her. I hope you find some yarn this time, Bonnie. So it's a pretty neat idea. I have actually had a couple customers in the other day that are doing theirs as mitered squares, which is a really cool idea. And they do it so like each little mitered square is a day, and she's got half of, like, the inside of the mitered square is the low for the day and the outside of the mitered square is the high for the day. Oh, it just looks really, really cool. I would say it's a great way to use up scraps, but I'm not quite sure. The concept seems pretty straightforward, but I'm not quite sure how you figure out how much yarn you need for each section. I always thought that would be a cool thing to do, but I know myself well enough to know that I would never keep up with that. So I just keep knitting on other things. Something different other than, well, Holly, maybe I just gave you an idea on that. So this is what I'm working on. I also decided to, those of you who were in the shop over the last week, you saw, I can say now, I can talk about it, my mom's Christmas gift. I decided crazily a week and a half ago that I would propose to my dad. If he bought the yarn, I would knit a vest for my mom for Christmas. But I used the new Malabrigo Noventa yarn. I was tempted to gift the vest to mom and then turn around and take it back so I could show you all. I'm sure I will be able to show you at some point. I was telling Melissa earlier, I want to put a post together that maybe is just a feed of all of the gift knitting that we did, and now that we can finally show off projects and stuff. Hi, Lisa, working on your garden fence sock. Julie working on surf and turf. If you travel through the year, do you use the temperature where you are? I guess that's totally up to you. I would think I would want to keep it in one area unless it was like my folks are going to Florida for a month, that sort of thing. Like, okay, so it would be here and there. It would be kind of interesting to see those little blips, because it's going to be way nicer in Florida than it is here if we did something like that. Beautiful, feels wonderful, and fits perfectly. Good. So I was working on that for the last week, but then I decided I wanted to do some more baby stuff, and I found one pattern that was adorable, this cute little one-piece romper sort of thing. But I got, I don't know, 4 rows in and couldn't make heads or tails of the pattern, and decided that was not something that I was going to recommend to other people. So instead, I'm working on, it's called Charlie's Day Set. And it's a sweater and a little pair of pants and a little hat, well, bonnet, they call it. The drawstrings on the pants are not real drawstrings. You're out. Okay. So the little pants have a folded waistband that you put elastic in. So here are my little navy pants. They have you do short rows, so there's room for for the nappy, as they call it, in the back. A few little short rows in there, but you can see the doubled up, the thickness of the doubled up hem. I leave a small opening somewhere. I left a small opening here so I can go back in, thread some elastic in there, and then you make a little I-cord. It's just a little decorative tie that goes right on the front. I am using a yarn that's right at the top of the screen that you can't really see, the Heritage 6, which is a Cascades sport weight yarn that is the same. It's the same makeup as their regular Heritage fingering weight yarn. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And to look at it, it doesn't look like it would knit up that much differently than the fingering weight yarn, but it really does. It's got a nice feel to it. The gauge, it's 23 stitches on 6s. I, of course, dropped to 5s. But, hi, Joe. Contrast colors for a temp blanket, yes. Excellent. So here is, look at this cute little top I did. So I wanted to do kind of, I started out with the green, saying, well, it could be a neutral color. And then I decided I've got lots of little girl stuff around here. And you guys know I like some stripes, clearly. So it's green and navy. I did put buttonholes. Let's see if I can show you this without it falling over. I haven't blocked it yet, obviously. Clearly I have not. I put buttonholes on both sides. Why did I do that? I wanted to show how, if you don't know, if you're knitting something that's gender neutral and you don't know the gender of the baby, but you still want to knit something, if you put buttonholes on both sides, one, when you sew your buttons over one of the buttonholes, you'll know it will be even with the one on the other side if you put them in the same spot. Two, you can decide at the last minute whether you want the buttons on the right or the left, but I just think it's adorable. They show the pants and the main color on the jacket, but I kind of just wanted to see how far I could get with one hank of each. So I had one hank of the green and one hank of the navy, and I have the little pants, the little jacket, and I am almost done with the little hat, little bonnet. I'm doing the decreases right now. I'm not quite sure if it goes this way or if it goes this way. I think it goes this way, and I have to pick up and do something around the front edge. I haven't read that far ahead. But just a quick little weekend project. Started it at mom and dad's this weekend and almost done. These, I was really surprised that I could get the legs, actually almost the whole pair of pants knit using my blue set of twist shorties. Going from something that's a 14-inch circumference with the needles. I might have started with something a little bigger before I split, but then on the leg, being able to reduce the size of the needles cable that I'm using as I decrease, that set worked out fine. I tell people all the time, this blue set of needles is probably one of the most versatile sets I have. If you have other Chiagu needles, those tips. So for the sweater, I was using the Fortes with one of the new swivel cords. If you had something that was just a little bit too short to be working in the round using these, you could put your 2 or 3 inch tips on a longer cord, or you could transition to one of the cords from the blue set. I don't know. I just think it's, they're just so versatile. I end up spending a lot of knitting time with those in my hands. Yes, they do take a little bit of getting used to. I mean, this is the smallest circumference, this little 9-inch circumference here. At some point, because this is a hat decrease, I will have to switch to another method. I probably will set these up to do like 2 sets of circular needles since I have all the tips. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Tony just finished some fingerless mitts and a cowl, working on a milled cowl. Beanie, hats and cowls, it sounds like Tony's working on. I don't know what's next on the docket for me. I need to go through my works in progress and see what I have going for tops. I want to start knitting more spring and summer tops. Speaking of, let's talk about what I'm wearing. I finished at the seaside. And if you look at the pattern, she says at the seaside, not only in the summer, whatever that means. I used 1.5 skeins of the green yarn, which is knitted wit sport weight yarn, and 1 full Blossoms sport cake, which look like these little guys. So the one I used was this color, the Sweet William, but it was done, it was wound opposite. So the dark was on the outside, the light was on the inside. It doesn't really matter. If you want to start with the light, you pull from the outside. If you want to start with the dark, you pull from the inside. So I did start with the light color and let it transition on its own all the way down. There's a little bit of an uneven hem. So it's a little bit longer in back than front. When I was working on this, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that it's a little bit of a challenging pattern to read the way it's written, but it makes this really cool shoulder. The way it's all built in, it just looks really neat and picked up for the neckline. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think I said before, my one frustration is that it doesn't go up to as many sizes as I would like, but there is quite a bit of ease built in. So mine, I ended up doing the 40-inch, and there's quite a bit of room in here, more than what even though it measures when I laid it out what it should be. It's roomier than I expected it to be, I guess. Josie felted slipper clogs today. Oh, good. Josie's talking about felting slippers in the washing machine. A lot of the new high efficiency ones don't have the center agitator. It makes it a little tough. So I finished this. I'm happy with it. I am ready to start new summer tops. I'll have to dig through the yarn over there and see what yarn I haven't used yet and make something. I did mention that I have a lot of new yarn, but a lot of the new yarns I have are clubs or are just kind of single skeins of things until the Barocco yarns come in. I got notification that I have 3 huge boxes scheduled to arrive here on Wednesday from Barocco. So I will have some work to do coming up. I better get my inventory done before then. So I got some new yarns from Wonderland. I got some new yarns from Knitted Wit. Is there going to be a class? Yes, we are going to schedule a class, Lori. I'm not quite sure when yet. I want to get with you. I want to get with E because I know the 2 of you specifically were interested. If people in the class want to use some sort of gradient yarn like this, I would recommend 2 solids and 2 of the gradients, because I had just let's see if it's in here. Nope, I was too efficient and I took it out. I didn't have very much left at all, just a tiny little, a couple grams left. So for people that don't want to cut it that close, I would get 2 of your gradient color. And I don't have a lot of that in stock right now. I'm waiting for it to be dyed and to come to me. So hopefully that won't be too long. And then we can schedule that class if that's what you're interested in. There is also this really cool, oh shoot, this is the downside of having my phone as one of the cameras. I can't just pull stuff up and look at it. There was a brioche scarf done on the bias that I saw the other day that might be in my future. I've not done, when Nicole brought her brioche cat head in the other day, we got talking about brioche, and I haven't done much of it lately, and I really don't have, I used to have a couple samples here in the shop, but I just have like 1 shawl that has a little bit of brioche in it, maybe 2. I think my Stephen West has a little bit of brioche, the one from last year, the shawlography. So that one uses DK weight yarn. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Yeah. So new yarns. We can colors of the cotton yarn. Yes, Sherry got to come in and see the bags that were up in the front with all the new cotton yarn that I got. So many good colors. They're still in bags. I have to find a place to put all of that, plus everything that's coming on Wednesday. So let's start with Wonderland yarns. A while back, I got from Wonderland, they call them their color burst yarns for Well, one of the things that I suggested and what a lot of people did was this little, the bright side cowl. So there are a couple patterns out that are written specifically for assigned pooling or planned pooling, similar to the out of line cowl that's on the mannequin, which was the project from Small Business Saturday, which is this little guy. I knew I should have taken it out of the sheet protector. Can't see it very well. There we go. The out of line cowl. Kits for that were 48. I think I maybe have one left, but the pattern is still available for a cowl version. So the out of line is a cowl. The bright side is an asymmetrical shawl. Both are super flexible in terms of what weight yarn you use and what dyer you use, as long as it is dyed in that method. So Wonderland, I got kind of a variety pack. It's I think they call it dyer's choice. So they just throw a bunch in a bag and I get what I get, which is kind of fun, but it also means I only get one or two of each color. So I have 5 colors in fingering weight, and I have 2 of all of them except the purple one. So their yarn is, their fingering weight is Marianne is the base, 475 yards in 4 ounces, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. These skeins are just like, they're squishy. So squishy and wonderful. But you can see, I'm going to slide the label off. Most of the skein is gray. There's just this tiny little blip of purple and blue in there, which is where you would do your purling for either one of those patterns. If you see something you like, because they are pretty limited, put in the comments that you want us to hold it for you. And we're happy to do so. Let me know how many you want, whether you want it shipped or held in the store for you. So this is one of the colors. It's called Tranquility of a Fresh Blanket of Snow. So it's this really pretty silvery gray with that mauve-y, plummy color, and then a little bit of kind of a denim-y blue in there. I'll save my favorite one for last. This one is called Small Victories on a Monday, which seems pretty appropriate. It's almost a darker version of this guy. So it's a deeper gray, a deeper blue, more of a burgundy color, but then it's got this pop of green in there too. I think with this one, you could have a lot of fun because you could decide if you wanted to purl one of the colors or 2 or 3. It's just a really cool concept. So these are $28 a piece. So this one's Small Victories on a Monday. This one is called Wildflowers on Your Bedside Table. This really pale rosy pink. And it has a pop of dark purpley, and then a little bit to a gray, and then this buttery yellow in there. Just cheery. Okay, Tony, I'll set one of those aside for you. This one I only have one of. It's called Splashing Through the Puddles. I had 2, but Joe picked one up the other day, and when we were winding it, it looks so cool. With this really pretty purple, and then this pop of turquoise in there that just, I mean, it stands out so much against that purple. I can't wait for that one to happen. That one's going to be really cool. Okay, so this one is probably my favorite, and it is called An All-Night Diner in the Middle of Nowhere. It is this charcoal, almost black, this deep, deep, deep gray, but then it has like a neon rainbow in it. which would knit up so cool because your pearl sections would get like this little rainbow in each one. I just think it's such a neat idea and would turn out really, really neat. Again, this is one of those where I only get so many of them. So I end up not being able to knit up samples because I want all of the customers to have them in their hands. So those are the fingering weight ones. The sport weight ones are on a shelf here behind me. The rainbow one, of course. Yeah, it's just such a cool way of having things, you know, it gives a yarn personality, I guess is the way to put it. All right, so I'll grab, I only have one each of all of the sport weight ones, but I have a bunch of colors. Some of them are like the opposite of the other, which I think is really neat too. So the sport weight ones are the same, $28, 4 ounces, 344 yards. They call it their Mad Hatter base. Again, it's Wonderland yarns. So purples, I only have one of the deep purple left, which I think Jackie snagged. I do have the light gray that has a little bit of the purple and the blue in with it. And I'm not sure if I have another one of the dark grays with the purple and blue and green. There is a purple in here though, in the sport weight one. So 100% superwash merino, again, super squishy. The new yarns that I've been getting from Wonderland and from Knitted Wit, the way that they spin is, the way they have the yarn spun is just makes it nice and lofty. The out of line is knit with fingering weight yarn. So is the Bright Side cowl. But again, especially with this Bright Side cowl, it would be easy enough to pop up a needle or two. So it calls for size 5s. I would go up to 6s or 7s if you're doing the sport weight, but it's just an asymmetrical shawl. So you can just go until you're done, basically. So sport weight, I have one of each of these. So this purple, Waking Up to Watch the Sunrise. And it's all the purples. Kind of this, I mean, this, you can't really tell. Maybe on Facebook it looks pretty accurate, but it's like grape jelly. This deep purple. Then there's kind of a medium purple in there too. That one is, they all just make me happy. This one, and they call their sport weight base Mad Hatter, which I think is fun. This one is Dandelion in a Sidewalk Crack. So it's similar to this fingering weight one I have, but there's no purple in it. So it's gray with green and kind of a denim-y blue, but also a little bit turquoisey blue in there. There's a little bit of both. Where should I go next? Green. Kristen. This one is that Surprise Picnic at Sunset. Melissa's waving her arms at me.
How many of the dark gray did you have?
Hang on, I gotta unmute you. This one is that Surprise Picnic at Sunset. Okay, what are you telling me?
How many of the dark gray do you have in the fingering?
2.
Okay, both. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now I got all messed up as to where I am here. There we go. Okay, I think. I'm hoping I didn't freeze myself, you guys. Put something in the comments just to make sure I didn't freeze. My Facebook feed looks like it did a little bit. I think this is the color Stacy did the last time I got this yarn. Okay, good. I see comments. Okay, so this is a whole bunch of shades of medium and dark green with a pop of teal and a pop of burgundy. That one's that surprise picnic at sunset. These are all kind of neat because a lot of them have the same colors, but they're completely different. This one's teal with purple and gray. A refreshing moonlit swim. So it's got these, it's got a little bit of blue in there too, but I think that's just kind of a happy accident. Not a dark, not like as dark as the grape jelly purple, a little bit brighter purple, but it's still really pretty. And kind of a light gray in there. This one, and I did have two of these, but Joe, yes, I did set one aside for you. This one is called The Scent of Old Books, and it's this beautiful gold color. And the contrast is just like a speckled, like a little bit of brown and gold speckled on a cream base. This is great for those of you who don't want something so, I don't know, loud, I guess. This is Wildflowers on Your Bedside Table. This is one that I had last time too. Is that the same as? Okay. And I have it in the fingering. So can you see the difference? I don't know if you really can, between the fingering and the sport weight yarns. One is just a little bit loftier, but they both are super squishy and lovely. Two left. I have Lounging Lazily on a Dreary Day. A light gray with dark gray and blue, kind of a deep tealy blue. No new yarn, come on. The last one, it looks like confetti cake to me, but it's called A Brush with Fate. So it's this medium gray, but then the contrast is, it looks like confetti cake. It's white with all these little blips of color in there. And they're not real bright, but there's green, blue, kind of a burgundy red, a little bit of orange. You all see that in there? There are a few of these that would be good muted ones. So I know I kind of went through that fairly quickly. I'm not sure if all of these are still available, but I will kind of go through and tell you the names of them again, just in case you missed it. So we'll start with the sport weight. The Scent of Old Books. Waking Up to Watch the Sunrise. I feel like I didn't say the name of that one. Maybe I did. That's the one that's all purples for my purple girls. Lounging Lazily on a Dreary Day. A Brush with Fate. And I kind of want to mention, sometimes people panic when they are looking at a skein of yarn and they see something like this weird random thing sticking out there, and they panic thinking it's a knot in the yarn. It could be. Most of the time, though, it's just one of the ties where they tie the skein together to hopefully keep it not, to keep it from getting more tangled. And a refreshing moonlit swim. Wildflowers on your bedside table. And the last of the sport weight ones is that surprise picnic at sunset. And I'm not sure, I'm not going to go through the fingering weight ones because it looked like quite a few people wanted those. So I don't want to go back and the books. Yeah, and the pattern to go with. Okay, Mom. I see. I think it's still available. We'll find out. So my hope is every time I get an order from them, I will get a little bit of that, but I don't kind of have a standing order. And when I do that kind of Dyer's Choice thing, I never know what I'm going to get. It's kind of fun. So that was the first of the Wonderland yarns. The second and the three yarns that I have now to talk about are all monthly clubs. And the way I'm doing the clubs is if it's something you know you want to do every month, you go on one list. If it's something that you just want to do every now and then, you just have to let me know when the month comes in, if it's something you're interested in. She's just talking about the scent of the old books one, Diane. So Wonderland has a monthly club called D-Stitch Nation. I'm not quite sure the origin of that, but I know it's something they've done for a while. With this club, you get a skein of yarn, an enamel pin, and a pattern that corresponds with the yarn. I have the yarn, I have the pins. I do not have the pattern yet, but it is only the 2nd of January and we just went through the holidays. So I'm giving them a little bit of grace on not getting the pattern to me yet. But what's neat with their D-Stitch Nation club is that each month could be a different base of yarn. So this month just happens to be the Mad Hatter Sport Weight yarn. And their inspiration, they're all based on books. Lots of book stuff going on. This one is the Jungle Book. So it could be books, could be movies, but I think they're talking about more books. This is, I don't know. Some of you girls saw this when I got it in a couple weeks ago. You happened to be at the table when I opened the bag. But it's like a pale aqua blue with speckles of green and burgundy and blue. These are, here's my note. This month, they're $36. You get the skein of yarn, the little Jungle Book enamel pin. Oh, there we go. Look at how cute he is. A little bit sparkly. And I'm not sure what the pattern is yet. But I believe I have 4 of these left. That's the benefit of being here. Sometimes you get first dibs on things before they even go out to the public yet. Yes, Lisa, I did hold one aside for you. So those are the things from Wonderland. Wonderland, every month I will be getting the D-Stitch Nation skeins. If you want to just be on that list automatically, let me know. I'll have to figure out pricing because it is a different base every month. This one is 100% superwash merino. Yes, Tony. 344 yards. Then on to Knitted Wit. Knitted Wit has 2 different clubs that we're participating in. One is their herstory, they call it. So like history, but focused on women. And this year, for the second year in a row, they're focusing on authors, female authors. So this first month, the author is Mia Birdsong. And they put together, they call it a love letter, but they put together this whole little like a newsletter talking about why they chose the author, things that they appreciate about the author, some other similar authors or speakers. So Mia Birdsong wrote a book called How We Show Up. There's a cover of the book. So it looks almost like a quilty background, very colorful quilty background. This is the yarn. So I got fingering and worsted weight. I got 4 of each. I think I have 3 of the fingering weight, 2 of the fingering weight and 4 of the worsted weight left. So knitted with 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 4 ounces, 420 yards. And it's called How We Show Up. It is very vibrant. And I like the way that you can tell these are definitely the same color, the same colorway, but the skinnier yarn obviously takes the dye just a bit differently than the worsted weight yarn. The fingering weight yarn is $31.50. The worsted is $29.50, and that is 100% superwash merino, 200 yards. I think, yeah, it would be. You'd have to find a corresponding color to go with it, but that would be easy enough to do. There are plenty of, you could pull any color out of there. There'd be plenty of colors to choose from. But designer Matt Lindley, I didn't realize the designer's name was Matt, has this whole series of butterfly accessories, I guess you'd call it. There's a butterfly cage hat, butterfly cage mitts, and then there's a headband. But the way they're done is with a contrast color kind of in the background with some slip stitches. So there are the mitts and the hat and the cowl. I didn't print off the headband, but same sort of idea. But I think with the worsted weight held with, I pulled Malabrigo Rios in the color ivory. So in doing something like that, oops, there we go. In doing something like that, I would use the ivory as the main color and the colorful one as that background pop, which would just be, I don't know. This time of year, you need something bright and cheery to brighten up the dreariness outside. So that club, the Herstory Club, I am getting every month. Every month I'm getting 4 skeins of fingering weight and 4 skeins of worsted weight. Again, yes, dark gray or black would make it look like stained glass. Even that really, really dark blue, you would almost get a similar look to that. No, it's not called the butterfly scarf, but the DK weight scarf that I did. Oh, they do show if you were just to knit the fingering weight into a tube as a sock, this is what it would look like. So it's like stripes, but not. It's really neat. So you get like one, not even a row of each color, little, probably 7 or 8 blips of each color. The last club is Explore the Rainbow. Explore the Rainbow is a knitted wit club. Every month, I'll get 8 skeins of DK weight yarn, and every month they're working their way through the rainbow. So January, March, May, Every other month, the skein will be a solid color. The following month will be a speckle that's very similar, that correlates with the solid. So you're working your way through, every 2 months is a different color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. They will provide a pattern every month for the color, for the yarn. Again, this one is DK every month. Their DK yarn is 4 ounces, 280 yards. This month's color is called Liberally Beating Heart. I have not gotten the pattern yet. They sent me a skein as kind of a preview skein, so I can show that to you all. It's like a bright pink, but it's not a neon pink. It's probably going to blow out the cameras. It is bright, but I grabbed a couple other colors to kind of compare it to. So this is my highlighter pink. It's not that pink, it's more red, which it's supposed to be the beginning of the rainbow. And it's definitely not fuchsia. So it's like red, but not. It's a really, really vibrant color. So Explore the Rainbow, they have 2 suggestions, which obviously you could do a lot more. But their one suggestion is that you could work your way through a blanket, even just a garter stitch blanket, using each color in the month, and you would have this rainbow blanket by the time you're done. Nicole and I were talking about that the other day, and I think that would be a really cool effect. Or knit the pattern that comes every month, or something else that you want to do. I do think it would be kind of fun to collect all these and have them. Well, 12 colors is probably not enough to do a temperature blanket. But it would be fun to get some of these and then coordinate with some other colors to do a temperature blanket out of these. You just have to wait a year. Julie, we're on the same page. Oh man, great minds, they think alike. So these are $30 a month. Again, if you want to be guaranteed that you get the rainbow color every month, let me know and I can put you on the list for that. I've got a couple of them spoken for already, so I anticipate that these ones are gonna go pretty quickly. I did show everybody, and I wish there was a way I could print it out. A few weeks back, I think I showed where they had all the different colors. Maybe I didn't, because I'm always using my phone for videos. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try and post a graphic of it. I need to make sure that I can share it with everybody. I don't think it's a secret, but it's called Explore the Rainbow. Every month is a skein of yarn and a pattern. I think that's all the new yarn that I have at the moment. Again, Wednesday, new boxes, new Barocco spring yarns. Always something new going on around here, you guys, which I like, and I hope you guys like that too. Coming up, let's see, what did I not talk about yet? Local businesses. Victoria and I went for coffee today. We didn't get a chance to go yesterday because we were traveling back from my parents' house. So today she decided we needed crepes. What was the name of the previous month club? Herstory, like history, but H-E-R. In Frankenmuth at the river, what do they call it? River walk place. The shopping area, they have a place called La Crêpe du Jour. And we've been there a few times. They have espresso-based coffee drinks and they have crepes. When we got to the parking lot, it seemed sort of busy in the parking lot, but not really. And walking around, it didn't seem very busy at all. We went in the crepe place and it was packed. I think everybody else had the same sort of idea. So we got, and they have sweets, crepes, savory crepes, all kinds of stuff. So that's what we did today. You would think, having had an extra cup of caffeine, that I would be a little bit more focused. It's not working today for me. So yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of time to continue wandering through the shopping places, but we got our coffee. We supported a local business. There are lots of really cool little shops in there. One of my favorite shops in there is I can't think of the name of it, but it's all honey based things. Like, they do have some vinegars and oils and stuff, but, they just have really neat, like honey mustards, honey, like flavored honeys, just a lot of cool stuff. It's not very far from the crepe place. But if you've not been in a while to Frankenmuth, it's worth kind of going over there and taking a wander through. You might even find your way into Rapunzel's and see what they have going on over there. Okay. I think that's all I have to talk at you guys about today. I appreciate everybody showing up with me this new year. I want to keep this going as long as you all just keep watching. I love chatting with everybody. I love that this gives me a way to connect with some of you that I don't get to see in person. You all get to be kind of my little insider club, I think. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope 2023 brings peace and prosperity and good vibes, all of that to you this year and on. So I hope everybody has a good week. And if I don't see you in the shop within the next week, I will see you all here next Monday. All right. Bye.